Well, a very good evening, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH 286. Just Patricia here tonight. David likes to take his Sundays off, and fair enough too. We've had an absolutely ripper-snorting day here. It's been flat calm all day. Well, it started off pretty bad, 10 degrees, but it slowly warmed up to 17 degrees, and now it's dropped back to 16. 1030, lovely anticyclone over us, 1030.7 to be precise, and no knots of wind, 0 to 1 from the north-northeast. Absolutely tranquil day. A lot of people outside doing their walking thing, dogs walking, people walking. It's been absolutely lovely. I went down to the marina today, check on the boat, run the engine, that sort of thing, and there were a lot of spaces in the marina. It was just lovely. Everybody out having a bit of a fish or just getting out to just run the engine and do things and enjoy the beautiful day here. Hasn't looked too beautiful looking at the satellite picture. I see a great swath of damp looking cloud over the eastern side of Fiji, and there's a big, well, from that low that passed us all the way up past the western side of Vanuatu and right up to New Caledonia, really. There's been a lot of activity on the AIS from New Caledonia. I think it's one of those weekends. It's actually quite scary when you're at anchor down in the southern lagoon at the Five Isles, which is one of our favourite places, because one weekend they do just a total circuit down and back to Noumea, and they travel through the night at amazing speeds through all the little islets down there. They obviously have done it many, many, many times with lots of waypoints, but boy, you do have to trust your waypoints, and it looks like that's what happened this weekend, because there's a lot of moving vessels in the southern lagoon, all now heading back to Noumea, where the weather is actually better than it is in Fiji. We've got a couple of boats on the go we'll talk to in a minute, and White Shadow, for those that are following Barry, who left a long time ago. He is having a great time with the southeast winds. He was doing 5.2 a while ago, but he's dropped down to 4.2 on a course of 314 at the moment, and he's up at 26 degrees 46 south and 17652 west. So he's well positioned to make use of the strong southeasterlies that he's going to get tomorrow. And the boats that left are still making good use of their southeast winds before it changes. I think people know Moxie, they're at 3124 and 17832 east with southeast winds. And I think probably Belina would like to know where Nespuck is, and Nespuck is at 3012 south and 17421 east with southeast. He's just going into a stronger bout of southeast, about 20 knots, 15 to 20, maybe a little bit more. It just depends where you are, but all the boats are well spread out, so plenty of space for everybody. And let's see if we can find our two boats that are heading north. Belina, Gulf Harbour. Nothing heard from Belina. How about Cheyenne, Gulf Harbour?
Good evening, this is Cheyenne. I have good copy on you. How copy me, Patricia?
Oh, absolutely brilliant copy from you, Jim, and looks like you're doing rather well. Go ahead with your report, over.
Okay, so you might have it on my AIS, but Cheyenne's position is 21 degrees, 05 minutes south, 178 degrees, 21 minutes west. And I'm sailing pretty much due north through, and I've got ranging from about 10 to 12 knots of wind from the southeast. Have mixed well. A couple of big swell patterns. One is from the east and one is from the south. So a little bit lumpy, but the period's not too short, so it's not too big of an issue. And a fairly complicated sky with clouds and layering with this swell over tail of the system going through. But all is well on board. I have 289 nautical miles to Sabu Sabu, over.
Yep, just getting that all down, and yes, I can see that band coming towards you. It will not be too far away, actually. Hit Ballina first because they're heading to Denarau, and then it will catch up with you. 30 knots in it, so you might have a bit of a sporty night. So yes, I got you to repeat your position. We don't. I get it on the AIS gives the position, and it was only about 0.1 out because it's just a few minutes ago. But it gives the GFS. So and of course it doesn't give me anything about the swells. I leave all that to David, who's not here tonight. So anyway, 10 to 12 knots east-southeast, which is interesting. It's got it, yeah, I suppose it is sort of east-southeast on there, and it shows 15 knots, so it's not too far out, is it? And Cheyenne, for those who might not have heard you, 2106, well, I'm actually reading the AIS position, 17819 west, with a course of true north. So, yeah, pretty good going, and you'll have a nice entry tomorrow with the wind slightly backing, Jim. So have a good trip tonight, over.
Sorry for that. Yes, I'm anticipating the wind backing a little bit overnight or tomorrow, and I'm positioned for it, and I'm controls now on the right, and then I will be able to point the bow towards Sabu Sabu and make a little time. So all is well. I'll keep an eye out for any breaking squalls overnight. Thanks so much for the check-in.
Yeah, it's good to talk to you. You always have such a good signal, Jim. So, yep, you'll be pleased to get up there. And you certainly will be experiencing warmer temperatures than our 10 degrees. I think it might be even colder tonight for us, so we'll wait and see. Okay, clear with Cheyenne, and we'll just see if we've got Ballina on frequency.
Yeah, this is Ballina. How do you copy?
Oh, good copy, Benno. Did you catch the position of Nespuck, over?
Yes, I had some problems to tune my antenna, so I'm late on the good Harbour radio net now. You asked for the position of network? Over?
No, I just wondered if, because I gave you their position a few minutes ago, but you may not have heard it, over.
I told me that my help is position, over.
Oh, that's good. Anyway, go ahead with your conditions. I have you at 2044 and 17929 west, or thereabouts. What are your conditions? Course and speed, over.
Yeah, our course of our ground is 315. The speed is 8 knots. We have southeasterly 22 to 25 knots. But a few hours ago the wind dropped because of a big squall, and for a long time we had only 6 to 10 knots. But now we have the 25 knots on the southeast again. The seas are 2.5 meters. Overcast, and on the bar 1019. Over.
Yeah, that's interesting because on the GFS, which I'm looking at, I haven't turned on all the stuff that David gets. It has that frontal system not quite on you, so it clearly is on passing through you. Southeast 22 to 25 with Ballina on a course of 315 and 8 knots. With the wind, well, it dropped during the squall, but boy, that seas are up, aren't they? 2.5 meters. Hopefully they'll go down as quickly as they came up. And 1019 on the bar. Well, you're certainly making good progress, so you'll be pretty much on target for tomorrow morning, over.
Yeah, we think tomorrow evening will be on the west part of Kapavu, and then we have to time our arrival for Tuesday morning. Over.
Yeah, roger that. Yes, hopefully things. Yeah, it's interesting when you get in the lee of the land there. It's still quite strong showing up on here, but then everything will be. I'm just moving it to tomorrow. Yeah, it just backs a little bit, but yes, you'll have pretty strong winds tomorrow, and then it will ease back when you get up to Viti Levu. Oh well, you know you'll have a nice good rest when you get there, so have a good safe night, you and Marlene, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow, over.
Yeah, okay, it seems that there is a factor signal on this frequency. Do you hear it also, over?
Yeah, it's quite possibly, well, I know Nigel was telling me he does put a message out on his ZL2 SEA to try and get people not using Packdoor at this time. But, well, some people don't know that we are broadcasting at this time, so I guess they, and of course it's good propagation at this time, which is why we are on at this time. But yes, it makes it quite difficult if people are using Packdoor, because there's not all that many good stations around, and one of them is Nigel's station, and I'm using his antenna, so it's all pretty close, over.
Yeah, I have a lot of QRM here today from the signal, so it's hard to understand, over.
Yeah, roger that. All right, well, we'll talk to you in the morning. Actually, I may not. We've got a builder coming back in the morning. He's been away with COVID. Boy, I tell you what, there's not too many people I know, and certainly not around where we live, that haven't got COVID at the moment. So it's a matter of trusting that when you test negative, you are not going to be contaminating people like me that are close by. So, yep, we've got a builder coming in the morning, so I may not be on the Hamnet, but hopefully you won't suffer from the QRM tomorrow. All right, have a good night, you guys. We'll clear with Bellina. Is there anybody else for Gulf Harbour?
Gulf Harbour Radio, this is sailing vessel Nestuk. Nestuk is calling for Gulf Harbour Radio.
Oh, hello, Nestuk. We were just talking about you, and as you probably heard, I was just talking to Benno on Bellina, and you look as if you're doing very well. I'll just give your AIS position, and then it would be good to see whether your wind is in fact what the GFS says. 3014 south and 17414 east. Can you give me the rest of the details, please? Over.
Roger, yes, this position is correct. Our speed is 6.5 to 7 knots. The wind is from southeast, more south than east, and the wind speed is between 15 and 18 knots. Over.
Okay, thank you very much. That's a lot better than what the GF... Oh, hang on, I'm looking at it tomorrow. So, yes, tomorrow it is, of course, backing. For those that didn't hear Nespak, they're doing 6.5 to 7 knots on their way to New Caledonia at 3334 and 17844 east, and the wind is southeast to south-southeast, 15 to 18. So good speed. And what is the water condition like? Is it a little bit bumpy, over?
No, it's swell, but maybe 1 meter, not more. The conditions are very good. Sunshine, sunshine and temperature 19 degrees. Over.
Oh, I wouldn't mind a bit of that 19 degrees here. So it sounds very, very nice. Swell 1 meter and sunny on their way to New Caledonia. So, oh, that's great. All right, well, we'll hopefully the conditions won't change in the middle of the black night, but they are, of course, due to back, as you probably know. But you're making good progress to date anyway. Okay, we will clear with Nespak. And stay on frequency. And well, I think Benno's just talked to you, but anyway, you can have the frequency when I'm finished with it, which will be very shortly. Okay, clear with Nespak. Is there anybody else?
Gone with the wind. Gone with the wind.
Well, good evening, Liam, on Gone with the Wind, and this will give us a report from North Minerva. Go ahead. How is the weather there? Well, I tell you what, you've got 20 to 30 knots of southeast wind more than we've got here, which is absolutely zero wind, Liam. It's been an absolutely glorious Sunday. Couldn't ask for better weather here, so we're really quite happy about the world today. Except for the cold start in the morning. It was very, very cold here this morning, 10 degrees. Yes, you right in the middle of things. You and Pagean, who I haven't heard this season, but normally they do call in. But anyway, we'll hopefully, well, that will pass with you overnight, as you probably know, and you'll have it somewhat better tomorrow. So it's still going to be quite sporty tomorrow, same direction, but down from what it is at the moment, Liam. So I presume you're well dug in by now. It might take you a bit of getting that anchor out when you decide to leave. So have a good night. Over.
And we look forward to David's forecast in 2 or 3 days as we think about the future. I'm glad the weather has improved for you. You guys have just been through shit there. We just feel that it's horrible. It's horrible. We listen to the news and you're doing it, so you deserve some sunshine. And you just to have a hot water bath. It ain't going to happen anytime soon.
Yep, thank you for that. Yeah, we didn't bother turning the radio on today because after the very appalling performance by the All Blacks last night, we just listened to it on the radio, but it was grim. And being beaten 2-1 in the tests with Ireland, but it wasn't so much getting beaten, it was just the dreadful performance of the All Blacks. They really, really deserved to get beaten. But of course, the agony of all of the armchair experts, it just wasn't worth turning the radio on today, so we didn't. Okay, clear with Gone with the Wind. And yes, David will be looking to get you on a nice steady course to New Caledonia. Excuse me, when this weather settles down. Is there anybody else? It was something like they picked up in the second half. It was pretty grim at the end of the first half. They were about 12 points behind. No, more than that. But at the end, it was something like 32 to 20. Don't quote me on this, but it was 32 to about 27. So, yeah, it was pretty grim, very grim. In fact, I better just tell you no, I won't tell you. It was grim. So there you go. And, of course, everybody wants Hanson's scalp. And he took Kane off, the captain, about a quarter of an hour from the end, which was a really stupid thing to have done, even though Kane was clearly exhausted, but he was the captain. So, yeah, it was just, it was appalling. I can't tell you anything more. But I can tell you one thing, the Irish really deserved to win. Okay, is there anybody else?
Zumax.
Oh, good heavens above! I've got Zumax coming in on the Kaio antenna. This is amazing. Go ahead to Zumax.
Hello, hi, this is Anna on Zumax. We are not on passes at the moment. We're just moving from Sangaré to Bay of Islands. So we're altering at the moment. There are 4 to 6 knots from the east southeast, and the sea conditions are very calm, and we will be reaching Bay of Islands tonight. So we just wanted to check in to say hello, and we will be monitoring the weather for the next few days to see if there is a good weather window showing up. Over.
Yeah, hello Anna, and lovely to hear your voice, so I know what you sound like. Yeah, it's definitely motoring weather at the moment, isn't it? Going up to the Bay of Islands. Yeah, good idea to get a bit closer to the final destination. There are, looking at the AIS, there's a lot of boats in Bay of Islands waiting to go, so you'll be able to commiserate with them. And yeah, we'll be looking at what's coming up. But I tell you what, it's not looking all that great. But anyway, who knows? Things can change, as we all know that they do. It was hilarious today. I think I sent you a copy. I just happened to look at, how you can get on Predict Wind. You can do GFS and ECMWF or whoever side by side. And I looked out a few days, and one said southerly winds and one said northeasterly winds for the same day at the same time. So I thought, oh, well, it's a little bit difficult to make any decisions based on that. Okay, Zoomax, good to hear you, Paolo, and we will keep in touch. Clear with Zoomax. Is there anybody else? Okay, there's nothing heard. I was hoping that we've got one boat that's having radio trouble, and I was hoping that they might have called in, but I don't hear anything else. So if anyone wants to try out their radio, for heaven's sakes, give it a go, because that's, you don't get charged for using the microphone, and it's always good for us to be able to hear people, find out to where they are, and what the propagation might be like, and test out your radio and all that sort of stuff. So if you wanting to do that, by all means do so. So anyway, I'll do one final call. If there's anybody out there wanting to test out their radio or try using the microphone, that would be good. So there you go. And I'm particularly listening for Pantaray. No, nothing heard. So we'll call it quits tonight, and have a good sail for those out there in the water. Certainly plenty of wind in the right direction finally. So enjoy your evening, whether you are at anchor or at sea, and we will be back again. We will be back again tomorrow. Get the old boy back here in the radio room. Cheers, everyone. The frequency's all yours if you want it.